joint. Hold this up right here. Another joint right here. My Oshawa Queen, Freemasonry, the origin of Freemasonry. Now look at me right quick. I think Oshawa crazy. This message is for you. Oshawa don't like nobody getting his information out, but this is not this Negro information in this street. This right here belongs to all of us, man. Yo, Oshawa crazy, stop calling me, asking me if I'm selling your tape. Hell no, I ain't selling your tape. Whenever you go into ancient Egypt, our ancestors got that information for us, not for you. You sound like nigga that said Christopher Columbus discovered America. You didn't discover this. I remember watching one of the tapes, brother, and not to personally attack you, but I get upset when you keep calling people, talk about this is your information. This is not yours. It's not yours.
You a slick nigga, selling all my DVDs over the years. How much money you made off of me, Sonetta?
But this is not this Negro information.
Is you like you a schizophrenic or something, nigga? Something wrong with your brain, Sonetta. Why you can't just be right? You just can't be right, nigga.
Now that being said,
the only time when we don't have a beautiful experience is when we fucking with you. So what do? We chop your motherfucking head.
You ain't got no proof, nigga, that I went to the hospital and they all told me I had AIDS. I went to like 4 hospitals, and the hospitals was telling me that I had AIDS. AIDS.
Shaka. I don't give a fuck what Ramesses said. I'm Sonetta. Ramesses was just another man, bro. I don't worship them motherfuckers. I don't give a fuck what Ramesses said. I don't give a fuck what Akhenaten said.
As a people, I hate Africans because of what they did to my people. How can I let Red Pill come? Red Pill just have a different ideology than me, but he's still a brother. That 14-year-old African is an African. He's not my brother. He's not my people, period.
I don't believe in old Egyptian gods. I don't believe in that stuff. I wasn't even taught that bullshit, right? I'm the one who bangs against the Comedics. I bang against them and they can't get through me because the gods that they worship, right, were born from another group of thinking, right? So you can't come with me with no goddamn Heru or no other that bullshit. Show it to me in the primary, show it to me in writing, show it to me in the period. You're making the bullshit up.
Polite, if let's say Polite is innocent, he could be a partial victim. You know, maybe he broke up with the girl. Who knows, you know, what happened in that instance. But the only true victim is that girl. So I think that's what we need.
And I think that's being a hypocrite because you have a member of ISUPK who was locked up for child molestation, for rape, or whatever it is, and y'all still support him. Here it is, Polite have not been found guilty, and y'all wouldn't support him. See the double standard?
What
you have a member
standard?
in ISUPK, which y'all support him financially. You put money on his books. But Polite have not been found guilty, and y'all
This how I know you taking a strong. This how I know you take a strong position of Polite's innocence, regardless of waiting till the verdict come, because you keep bringing up the same exact thing, even though I've explained the position dozens of times. How many times do I have to explain the same exact position? So in that instance, the brother took a lot of.
Even if you explain it, it still remains the same, though, Captain.
No,
you still support
what remains the same?
Guilty.
But what remains the same, though?
That he was found guilty.
Definitely was found guilty. But he also
Polite was not found guilty.
I'm not.
All right. Peace and Black Power family. Welcome to another Sonetta TV House of Consciousness production. You already know what it is. This is your brother Sonetta. I am your host, and I'm bringing in another heavy hitter. You brothers and sisters better be ready. When we build this wall, this comedic wall, oh my God, ain't nothing stopping. We bringing in another young brother. He's a scholar. You one leave, 5 more come in. Reggie leave, 5 more come in. You know what I'm saying? Garfield leaves and turn his back on Kemet, 10 more come in. We already got Chris Harris. We bringing in another brother who is awesome, who is powerful. I would say I don't know, between him and Jabari, I would say they probably right here until I see the brother's work and ethic, and if he can handle the ring, getting in, or the battlefield, or whatever, anybody that come at him, if he can deal with that pressure, I think he can, because he's killing. And so without any further ado, I bring to you my brother, Shaka, in the building. What's up, Shaka? He runs the channel of Ma'at Forever. So if y'all are aware of that, make sure you go and subscribe to Ma'at Forever channel. Go over there and show some love for our brother. Peace and black power to you. Hotep. Shaka, what's happening, man? Unmute yourself.
Hotep Sen-E Sanera,
Yeah.
thank you for the invitation. I just want to greet the people as I usually do. Hotep Senu, Hena Senut, Iti, Ren Shaka and Kemet. I hope you're doing well. Bonjour, Sak Passe, Mbote, all that good stuff.
Damn, don't y'all hear that? Don't that sound beautiful to your ears, man, right there? Just to hear him go in on that. I know he dealing with knowledge, man.
Have you ever met their father Benga?
No, I've seen him. I've seen him, but I'm not acquainted with him.
Well, you seen him on YouTube?
But brother, you like to say I know him and him. In 30 years, you don't have a book, you don't have a website, you don't have a platform. You have to go on other people's platforms. So you can talk all you want that you were acquainted with.
Well,
whoever. It doesn't hold any bearing with your scholarship.
Listen, I think everybody knows my work. You're just being introduced. Okay?
What is your work? You've been carrying their suitcases. You went errand and bought them drinks and coffee and tea. Everybody can do that. That's why I nicknamed you Butler.
So Sanetta, so you allow this person to talk about, I carry Sanetta's bags and suitcases.
So you are Butler for Sanetta as well. It's good to know. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
and Sanetta called you the B word. You did not object. You don't have any background.
You know.
Microphone check 1 2. Nice, isn't it? Hotep Senu Hena Senut Iti Ren Shaka and Kemet. I hope you're doing well. The title of this live stream is Tehuti. You maintain the extra pseudo statements you've made. Brothers and sisters play too much. Your brothers and sisters play too much. Now, people are going to tell me what? Oh, we've been knowing about this, man. This is old, man. Now, this is different from the main topic, one of the most serious topic that we have addressed lately. You know what I'm saying? we can see who don't mind convicted child molesters invited on the panel on a regular basis. You know, I mean, I could name the people, but you see them on that panel over there. You can also see that they don't mind the owner of that channel accusing people of being inappropriate with their own children. They don't care. Then they're going to call you brother. Fine. We can see that for months, the who couldn't simply say, no, it's not true. I was in a relationship with that girl when she was a teenager. And teenager, that's 15, when he was in his 30s. And it's been months. Fine. Okay. But now, the term extra pseudo has been used because we used to pseudo teachings. You know, we used to that. On the rape, okay, we have pseudos for days. Are people telling you that the hieroglyphic symbol of the arm with the cord of bread means Allah? Claim that I refuted 10 years ago. You had the pseudo people telling you about black Moorish rulers who control parts of Europe. You have pseudo people telling you about black Canaanites. You have pseudo people telling you about Sinai photographs and attestation of Moses and Miriam in the hieroglyphic. You have pseudo people saying Elohim is not Hebrew. You have pseudo people telling you that Jesus never called on a God called El. And in the Bible itself, it says before he's about to give up the ghost, Father, Father, why have you forsaken me? I mean, that's how they translate it in English. And if you look up the Hebrew / Aramaic, it's Eli, and we know that El is a root word, you know. So he's basically saying my God, you know. But anyway, I've documented all that, you know what I'm saying? Butler Reggie saying that Heru is Greek. We've documented that. Butler Reggie saying that Ma'at is a bird. We've documented that. You understand what I'm saying? But if you're aware, and I'm not talking about private conversation, I'm talking about stuff that's shared publicly. If you are aware of people making pseudo claims like that, at least inform me, because I think it's important for me to know who I'm dealing with. Now, brother Tehuti, I'm not attacking you, bro. I'm just going to show what you said to the public, man. My question is simple, man. Do you maintain those extra pseudo statements? Because you know, pseudo is just not enough. At this point, I have to come up with extra pseudo. You know, there's a good brother of yours, I think it's called IIT. He came through on the panel, and I did tell him that, you know, diplomatically, you know, in my opinion, you should not rely on Budge so much. You know, I mean, so many people would say that Budge is outdated. Not to say that he was bad, but at this point. But anyway, that's just a little something. This is not a big deal. But bruh. Let me just share it, man. Let me share the link, man. So just when you think you heard it all, man. Where is it? There it is. Just when you think you heard it all. I mean, dang, brother. What title should I give? Tehuti claim of Malacca York shifting shape. That's really like sci-fi movie type of stuff. You have the link in the chat right there. All right. For those who don't know, sorry, I spoke too fast. For those who don't know the chat, this point, sometimes I open it to everybody, but this time it's only open for subscribers, you see. So if you want to be supporters, I mean, want to be a supporter, it's $3 per month. That's an equivalent of $36 per year. I don't know any contact details. All I know is the username. If you don't want to, fine, you don't have to. All right. Time is it? Hey, you know what? Hey, I will share the link. You know, let me share the link. If somebody wants to just say that they've seen the same thing as well, I'm interested. You know. Now that being said, share the link. Let's hear it. Let's hear it, man.
Listen to this.
Tehuti, can you repeat that again, brother, please?
If we're gonna cost it.
I heard what Tehuti said.
I've seen Malachi in 3 different sizes. He went from 5'7", and he went to the size of about an 8-year-old child, and he was playing with the children. And I've seen him as taller than me. I've seen that with my eyes.
So wait a minute, man. Hold up. So what God did he invoke to help him do that?
I'm 6'5" now. I used to be 6'2". I'm 6'5" now.
So you see him change sizes from height ranges from like what, 4.5 feet to 6.5.
Yeah, not just change size, but the whole body structure of like a child, like an 8-year-old child, and he was playing with the children as their size. He was their size, and he was playing with them as their size. I saw that.
Crumb TV.
Now, I didn't say it. He said it. He's known as Tehuti Amun Hotep Ra. So he shifted into 3 shapes, 3 sizes. He grew taller. He grew smaller to the size of an 8-year-old child. The whole body structure, and he played with children. And then obviously we saw his footage when he was arrested. We've seen some pictures. So after he shifted to an 8-year-old child, and obviously he grew again and lived his life, and then he was charged. Now, for the record, I've already played Scam Chatter from the rape OK, defending the convicted child molester Malachi York for about 10 minutes straight. And you can see who's on the panel over there. There's a trial coming up. It's going to be a shift at this point. We're not there yet, but you can identify who's cool with that. But dang, man. Dang. Now, I want to show something real quick. It's a small world. It's a small world. Now, that's a brother's YouTube page, right? Now, here it says, okay, never mind. Okay. Now, look at the friends here. Do you see the friends here? Now, if you look closely, there's a sister who was a supporter on my channel who said that she was the Hebrew dude who's been convicted of child molestation, that's also on that panel over there, exposed himself to her. And because she refused his advances, she was humiliated in a Hebrew court. You understand what I'm saying? And hey, V Bennett, how you doing, brother? Hotep. Well, I think, brother, you can identify the lady. I don't want to say her name, but it's there on the friends list. And like I was saying one day on TikTok, the suggestion when you communicate with people, I don't know how they do it with the algorithm, but it came up and I have a look and I said, dang, she's with a 5%er who's rolling with the Christian apologists, the dead squad, the squad that's dead, So I asked her, is he your home? Is he your dude? And she said, yeah, it's my husband, So if you go on your profile, you ain't gonna see the pictures. I don't know if she's still with the dude, I don't care, to be honest, but it's a small world, there she is, what I'm saying? Now the TikTok in the process, it has disappeared or whatever. She removed everything or the pictures, I don't, but hey, it's all good. What I'm saying? She did confirm, it's on one of the live stream. I usually put the comments on the screen. I don't know if I put that one, but hotep to you, brother, if you've been it. He's in the place to be. And she did say that's the dude, the dude's her husband. For stranger than the last time, she was like, man, you looking for problems. So I'm like, all right, okay. All right. I can understand, So that being said, man, let me play it again. Let me play that stuff again. You got to hear it to believe it. If I didn't hear it, and the person that sent it to me told me that he said that Malachi York changed shape, that he grew taller. You know what I'm saying? So I was expecting that. I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared to hear that not only he grew taller, but then he shifted to the size of an 8-year-old. You understand what I'm saying? So the person gave me more than I expected. Now, brothers and sisters, you're going to have to stop playing, man. You're going to have to stop playing, man. I remember Polite saying that Bobby Hemmett stated publicly that he defecated an alien. And years back, the Blog Talk Radio, he can shift out of prison then also. you know the music X-Files, there was an X-Files episode with a shapeshifter, I've seen that episode. I've seen it. They used to play X-Files in France. You know what I'm saying? So the guy's in prison and he's being served the food on the plate. Then he looks at the hole. So he made his way out of the hole. But at the end, he dies, like, the electric stairs that you have in malls. You know what I'm saying? He went on there and, but anyway, dang. So years ago, I've spoken to the dude once years ago, like dang, that's a good decade ago, I would say. Yeah, I would say it's a good decade ago. I called his radio broadcast and I asked him about it. And he actually said, well, I must have it somewhere in my X-Files. The video of the exchange is on my channel. You know how to search within the channel so you can hear. I really called to set the record straight about the black so-called black Canaanites because he had talked about that. Just telling him, those dudes are not black. And then I asked him about that. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, Malachi York is known to use TV episodes and implement the stories into his doctrine. That's what Chuck Morgan demonstrated actually many times. Well, his teaching, Zechariah's teaching, and so many other different stuff, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, B. Bennett, I don't even think you heard that. Have you heard it already?
Tehuti, can you repeat that again, brother, please? Before we go to concert.
I heard what Tehuti said.
I've seen Malachi in 3 different sizes. He went from 5'7", and he went.
Now, he said he saw Malachi. No, V. Bennett didn't see it. You aren't ready, brother. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna let it play, and then we're gonna analyze that. All right? Because you have to be prepared for stuff like that, man. I wouldn't have believed it. Brother, even if yourself would have said it until I saw it, I wouldn't. How can you believe it if you don't hear it and see it, man? Dang. You brothers and sisters playing too much, man. Because I know some of you brothers and sisters are going to tell me, I knew that, I saw that, but you ain't told me. You play too much, brothers and sisters. You play too much, man. I mean, this conscious community, they know about the guys who raped so many people, had so many cases, you know what I'm saying, molested so many people, stole so many people, all the scammers on the rape, okay, you know what I'm saying, Garfield and them, you know what I'm saying, you know how they've been scamming, I had testimony even here on that panel here, you know what I'm saying, and many other people, you know what I'm saying, I mean, people plagiarizing, being pseudo, telling you that Allah is in the Egyptian text, and all these crazy things, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you guys play too much, man. But anyway, I'll share the link in the chat anyway. For those who wonder, the link is here. You have the link here, all right? And save that video, it may disappear. Oh, I need to put the volume, that's why. I need to put the sound, so let me refresh again. Because this is a short, I cannot, there's 112 comments. Somebody wrote, yes, he's telling the truth. I saw his green aura. He is who he is. We're going to have fun with the comments, man. I'm going to have fun with the comments, man.
Tehuti, can you repeat that again, brother, please? Before we go to concert.
I heard what Tehuti said.
I've seen Malachi in 3 different sizes. He went from a 5'7", and he went to the size of about an 8-year-old child, and he was playing with the children. And I've seen him as taller than me. I've seen that with my eyes.
So wait a minute, man. Hold up. So what God did he invoke to help him do that?
I'm 6'5" now. I used to be 6'2", I'm 6'5" now.
But you see him change sizes. From height ranges from like what, 4.5 feet to 6.5.
Yeah, not just change size, but the whole body structure of like a child, like an 8-year-old child, and he was playing with the children as their size. He was their size, and he was playing with them as their size. I saw that.
Crumb TV.
So in case you didn't hear, well, you know what I'm saying, we're just going to go through what he said. You know what I'm saying? Okay?
Can you repeat that again, brother, please? Before we go to concert.
I heard what Tehuti said.
I've seen Malachi in 3 different sizes.
So he said he has seen Malachi York in 3 different sizes.
Went from a 5'7", and he went to the size of about an 8-year-old child. And
he went from the size of 5'7" to the size of an 8-year-old child.
He was playing with the children.
He's playing with the children.
And I've seen him as taller than me.
And he has seen him as tall or taller than the brother Tehuti. Hey, maybe Polite is gonna say, hey, maybe he's gonna, pull up a Malachi York and say, I was like a 14-year-old boy. I shifted shape and I became a 14-year-old boy. And then, he was under the influence of the alcohol, didn't know how to act well, so he should not be charged as an adult. He's not legally responsible because he was a child. Who knows, man? I don't know what they're gonna come up with, man. I don't know why they are doing this lunacy, but it won't get him out of prison. It's only proving how messed up it has made people's head. Let's continue.
I've seen that with my eyes.
He said he has seen that with his own eyes. He said it. I didn't say it. He said it. All right.
So wait a minute, man. Hold up. So what God did he invoke to help him do that?
For the record, it says Lions Den champion Amenhotep Ra. So the dude was apparently part of the Lions Den, man. It's funny, man, because we have the Judas Nasty who's into the bisexual lifestyle, even though he claims to be a Hebrew Israelite. Those doctrines, man, those people, are they just creating weirdos? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it seems like every time people deal with the Hebrew Israelites, the black Hebrew Israelites, they end up, weird pseudos. Like, I don't. What if he said, I've seen Dr. York give birth to a baby? Would you believe it? And those are the guy who said that York is innocent. I don't know if Tehuti said it himself, but you can see the type of thing that the Nuwabians believe in. You know what I'm saying?
I'm 6'5" now. I used to be 6'2", I'm 6'5" now.
He used to be 6'2" at the time. All right.
You see him change sizes. From height ranges from like what, 4.5 feet to 6.5.
Yeah, not just change size, but the whole body structure of like a child.
So not only Malachi York changed size, but he changed his whole body structure like a child, man.
Like an 8-year-old child, and he was playing with the children.
Like an 8-year-old child, and he was playing with the children, man.
As their size. He was their size.
As their size. He, Malachi York, was their size.
and he was playing with them as their size. I saw that.
And he was playing with them as their size, and he saw that. I mean, was it hypnosis? Hypnotism? Was it some good kush? I mean, he put something in his drink or something? Oh my goodness. Let me share the if you know the brother, let him know. Ha ha ha. Oh yeah, he's innocent also. Would you believe that? If you know the brother Tehuti, man, let him know, man. If you know him, if you follow him, you support him, if you believe that, if you some of you seen that as well, just let us know. I'm interested. I want to know where my people is at, man. I don't know where my people is at, man. I wanted to read the comments. And I'm sure you're going to see some comments and say, yeah, that's what's up. So, I can make it larger. I didn't even know. Okay. All right. So here, the question is, do you think he's telling the truth? Let's see the replies. I'm not sure if I believe him. 1 minute clip is too short, but he can shapeshift into a god and escape from prison. I will believe it. But if he can shapeshift. So the sister said she's not sure if she believes him. See, after all that was heard already, all that was said, she's still not sure. She's still not sure. So no wonder when people have some court summary, criminal record, and he says that they were found guilty in a court of law, you can just put the doubt into their brain real quick. People say, they have attestation of Moses and Miriam in hieroglyphic. It's, well, I'm not sure. Who knows? Maybe. You know what I'm saying? People tell you that the hieroglyphic symbol means Allah. Well, I'm not sure. Maybe. They tell you that Allah is in the Egyptian text. Well, I'm not sure. Maybe. Anyway. He looked up to the right when testifying more than twice, as if creating/fabricating a memory. Could you please tell us more about the source of the 100% confirmation, if it is at all possible? And notice, that guy has L in his name. So when you have L, that will be a more, and many, some Nubians will have the L in their names, but usually it's Moors. They will have L, they will have they. Before I tell you Dr. York is innocent, I want to tell you I saw him grow wings and fly into air like an angel. Now I tell you he is innocent. Do you believe me? Oh my goodness, man. I mean, that's just not pseudo, that's extra pseudo at this point, man. Moon Pie Mars wrote, he told the truth because he can easily morph his face, body size, and age. The thing about us human, the mind perceive what it's seeing, and easy someone who are higher frequency or higher mind level can easily change or shape shift. That man is not the first. I heard men and women talking about Dr. York shifting. All of us have the power to do it. This is what happened. This is a conscious community. This is a conscious community, man. These are people who are going to help us move forward, and never mind the people who sexually abuse children. Never mind the people who rape women. Soon they're going to say it's initiation, man. Because in France, there's an organization that used to be headed by Molefe Asante and another lady. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about Karenga torturing those black women, the responsible dude in France, responsible of that organization that was under Molefe Asante, Professor Molefe Asante, he actually used the term initiation. See, this is you initiation. Man. I was there. I heard that. I saw him. I heard that. It was during one of our meetings. All right. But, they are trying to tell people that the victim imagined him molested them. Hey. But them seeing people shape-shifting is not imagination. It's a fact. Okay. Perception itself is an illusion. Only a small portion of people on the planet Earth can see people what they truly look like. But as far as that to you, that's why reptilians shape shift, because it's easier for them to communicate and manipulate us every day, because we see things as an illusion and non-threatening. You see what they are, you pee on yourself. And that dude is called Moon Pie Mars. All right. Now that person here, L. Mayo Black, wrote, yes, he is telling the truth. I saw his green aura. He is who he is. You seen what's his name? What's the name again? Dave Chappelle. He's what's his name? Rick James sketch, you know, and we have the belated Charlie Murphy, who said, you know, he was starstruck with Rick James, and when he saw Rick James, he said, you know, the aura, I seen it. I would play, but you know, they do the copyright stuff, you know what I'm saying? But look it up, and it's on YouTube. You just put Dave Chappelle, Rick James. Now, here we have Miss Megahertz, who wrote, I've seen someone like that. Here we have Neken Tut, who wrote, I've been said to myself that Malachi York could shapeshift, because just about every time I would look at and would study different images of Malachi Z. York, he always looked so different, or too different literally. So I fear what Tehuti is saying. It's something real deep about Malachi Z. York. I really do feel like he's a celestial being, a Netheru. Netheru, by the way, you know, but everybody has their own spelling, you know. It's the first time for me I see that, you know, from another star system, and the government and the elite know who he be. Hey, it's deep, man. The comments are as deep as the statements. Yes, I know this man extremely well. He is telling the truth. Okay, well, you know. I understand why they don't like me, man. See, the Caucasus community, whatever they tell you, they want you to accept it and say, wow, that's powerful information. That's what they want you to do. If you don't say that, you're divisive. You're looking for trouble. As long as you agree with whatever claims they make, you're good in their eyes. Even if it's people who just rape children, you know. Here we have this person who wrote, I don't know if dude is telling the truth or not. I saw things in my life that people thought I was crazy, how BSing. That's why I don't talk to everyone about it. So this guy doesn't know if he's telling the truth or not. This looks like a joke. A prison guard said he saw him levitating in his cell with a green aura around him. Looks like a joke to me. Here we have a lady who wrote, I saw this guy on a podcast here on YouTube last month. He seems knowledgeable and interesting. I hope you do a full interview with him one day. So I guess you have to be pseudo, man, and people will be interested. But I ain't gonna go that route, man. To which he's on. His brother is one of the best magicians I've ever seen. He's a master of black engineering, so-called magic effects. In that respect, yet not limited to, he's credible. So he's credible. There's some credibility in what he said. I used to film him in Atlanta doing street magic. Okay. Well, magic is illusion. Just for the record, you know. People really believe that those dudes be levitating like that, you know, with no rope or no trick, you know. Hey, more power to you guys. Here the person wrote, bro must have been a living Anunnaki. Here we have Sigma the Prince who wrote, yo, you know what's funny? That guy has an anime stuff, you know, an anime stuff. The other lady who said that she believed the stuff, I've seen someone like that. She has an anime stuff as well. You know, hey.
Tehuti, can you repeat that again, brother?
Okay, she has an anime stuff as well. So that you have to understand why people remain anonymous and unidentified, man. Because if they have to really show who they are, they will have to cheer about their statements. So he wrote, yo, I believe, dude, I have a Nigerian friend that was 3 to 4 inches taller than me one day. I let him know, and I know he could see the slight fright in my face. Howard Title wrote he was definitely playing with children. Oh man, that's horrible. That's horrible. Now, so some people are asking for the full video. I don't know if they share the link, but I've heard enough personally. I don't know how true it is, but if none of the shapes he shifts into can get him out of jail, it's not important, in my opinion. Here, the person wrote this would explain why the government will never allow him to be a free man. So we are led to believe that if somebody can shape shift, then he will lock him up in prison. You know, they will not study the person and just let people know that this person has some very special, extraordinary abilities. No, they just lock him up and accuse him of molesting children and give him a 135-year sentence. It makes sense, doesn't it? Now here was somebody that that has some common sense and wrote, "For real, Tehuti, come on." Malachi was a fraud. He only talked about 9 either being hair in the 90s. He used to have his hair straight slicked back. In the book, My Brother, the Extraterrestrial, in the book, My Brother, the Extraterrestrial, it's written testimony on this subject. I've also been told by others about it. J. Dillard here, not the music producer, wrote facts. I have the book as well. Marco said, I heard someone else say it. Who is the background goofy being sarcastic and ignorant, trying to be heard in or seek attention like, bro, we hear you. Tehuti is on Killer Priest podcast on YouTube Mondays or Wednesdays. I don't know what to make of this. He usually makes sense, but this here, lol. That was probably on the land of Eaton, Georgia. When I was there, the statue of Ptah winked at me, and I would get nose bleeding because it was so hot. But Sakina from the tabernacle said I was being probed. He knows he called him Malachi. The skeptics, why at times it is difficult to deal with factual information research. This well documented since 1967. I bore witness in 1996, already knowing he is Anunbi Roak Ptah. Goodness, man. This person wrote that interview is this I rocks with Tehuti. I don't know what he was trying to say here. Okay, I meant, okay, what interview is this? Okay, that's what you meant to write. Okay, what interview is this? I rocks with Tehuti. Now here, person wrote, how come he shaped out of prison? Yes, I grew up around the Nubians when they were on Saru Allah. This fable been floating around since elementary school. Is also supposed to be able to shrink himself to the size of a fly. All right. The Waps explain Jesus walked on water also. But I wish he shaped shifts out of the Fed. So many people do bring that up. He sounds like the guy that speaks with Killer Priest. Yes, he is him. Proof needs to be presented, yet you say things with none at hand. And the link is there, brother, but I'll share it again. It reminds me of Neil deGrasse Tyson. He talks about, how come those aliens, those extraterrestrials, they are always so shy, They never land in the middle of Times Square. They always go to some remote city or whatever. But then he said, if you get abducted by aliens, when they're not looking, just grab something, So then when you come back to Earth, we can analyze it and see if it comes from Earth or else. What's up, Bennett? How you doing, brother?
Hey, Shaka, man. Good morning. Hotep.
Hotep. Dang.
Yo, man. These people, it's so sad. It's so sad, and it's unfair, man. It's really unfair because, there's some element to life where you just are supposed to be smart enough to know the difference between a lie or disinformation, fables and reality, and I'll give you an example. Back in the 50s, 60s, or whatever, the US government was making a lot of weapons. They were trying to get ahead of the game, and so when people would notice these new flying machines and stuff like that out in the middle of the US, where they have the military bases, where they fund, weapons industry and all of this stuff, people would see stuff. And, back then the idea was like, must be aliens. That people put out this disinformation. Somehow it comes out there, and there's so many people that are so, willing to believe some of the most naive stuff on earth, that the story spread. The idea of aliens spread. There was just literally so many people willing to believe that they saw spacecrafts, and not, and apparently, I mean, there's a lot of people that also was just like, it's got to be weapons. Come on, what else could it be? But I mean, maybe they don't speak enough. But somehow the newspapers, pick up on the exciting story. So it's like aliens. Did someone see an alien? And maybe some paranoid person looked up in the sky and was like, it's got to be aliens. Got to be aliens. I saw an alien. You can't tell me what I saw. I saw it. But of course, you think the U.S. military is going to tell you what you saw, that they're making something? No, because they want it to be a secret. That's the point of it. They want it to be a secret. So even though they see you out there swearing that you saw an alien, they got a choice to make. They either give up the secret that they're developing some flying machine, doing tests on it out in the middle of the US where they're hoping not too many people see it, or they let you believe that you saw an alien. And so they just let you believe you saw an alien ship, and that just went on and on and on forever. But the problem is that governments use disinformation against each other also, and somehow I have to say, I'm sorry, whenever you want to deal with Black people in Egypt, there's always some kooky, where does this alien thing come up? It came up a long time ago, where instead of just believe that the people that lived around the pyramids built the pyramids like everybody else does everywhere else on earth, somehow this rumor got out that it's like aliens that built it. You see? And there's paranoid people that just pick up on these stories and they can't let it go. It is completely irrational. There is absolutely no real scientific proof. Any alien built any pyramids, that people saw any aliens flying around in the middle of the US, on ships.
Hold on, bro. Sorry to interrupt you. I was listening all over. I just had to step out of the desk. But you said there's no evidence of aliens, building pyramids. But Brother Polite, he's on tape. He said that he believes that aliens played a part in the building of pyramids. Now, I don't remember exactly the words he used, so I'm paraphrasing. I don't know exactly what sentence he said word for word, but I'm sure many people have seen him. And if people want to challenge me, I can look for it. But you know what you said, that people swear that they saw some UFOs or aliens or whatever. Yeah, there's people who said they saw Elvis, man. How many people said they saw Elvis? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And and this, I mean, it's really, really strange, because if you want to mess over people's minds, then and you have a good reason to want to do it, like because there's different powers on earth that use disinformation, and they use disinformation against different populations of people. It an easy thing to do is to just find where the lunatics are and put some wind in their sails. Put some wind in the sails of the lunatics. Just like, they found out that Russia was putting wind in the sails of the right-wing extremists in the U.S. They put wind in their sails through different ways, through supporting them a little bit financially, in ways that they don't even know they're being supported. A lot of these people don't even know they're being supported by foreign governments or some sort of coup. You don't know what it is. Well, what we do know is that this stuff that these people are saying, whether they believe it or not, it will not get Dr. York out of jail. And any psychiatrist that hears them say this is going to classify them as paranoid, schizophrenic, or lunatic, something of that nature. Just that simple. That simple. That's all that's going to come out of it. And it's so sad because, you can't help everybody walk through sanity. You can't help everyone walk through sanity's door. Some of these people just are allowed to be lunatics if they choose to be. You're allowed to believe whatever you want to believe. That's part of the freedom you have, sadly enough. But it's not like that everywhere in the world, man. In some places in the world, you go around talking about this stuff, they're going to throw you in the mental asylum. Someplace you go around talking about certain things, they're going to throw you in jail just for talking about it. Some places you go around, do you know this Nuwabian crap? These people talk about the white man in the US and all this shit. Do you know if they tried to practice this shit in Russia or Eritrea, do you know where they would be? They would, in a Marxist country, they would find their ass in prison. It would be outlawed, illegal, completely. In a Marxist country, in South Korea.
I'm sorry, brother. What would be illegal?
Their belief. This belief, they would be thrown in a goddamn prison. They don't want the people going around being a bunch of lunatics like this. Seriously. But in the USA, you have freedoms. But these morons actually think they're being oppressed by having this freedom. It's like the most bizarre goddamn thing. That's why they say the most important reason.
Somebody said, that's why, the government didn't want him out. You know what I'm saying? But the people who can testify that they've seen that, they're all good, But here, let me just say for the record, this is a CD. It looks like a double album, And I just found out about it today, So people want to say, "Oh, you knew about this? You didn't say anything." Okay, I'm discovering. All right. Yeah. So this is, this is polite. You know what I'm saying? So on the left, he's like crucified in a crucified position with the ankh, and on the right is just a typical crucifix. Now I'm gonna zoom in, so you can see the face. All right. Well, it doesn't show too well, but that's his face. That's his face. And this is probably Nuapic, the language that they made up, which really sounds like Arabic. It's not. But anyway, that's just for the record, because Malachi talked about, his crucifixion. He didn't want people to see his crucifixion. Well, it looks like maybe there's going to be a quote unquote crucifixion of polite, but who knows? He may find some way to, shape shift his way out of the trial. Who knows? I don't know. We'll find out. Keep going, brother.
Yeah, well, but that is what makes these people lunatics. And, at the very least, lunatics, because the logical question is, if you've seen them shapeshift, if you've seen all of this stuff, then how come he can't shapeshift himself out of that prison? Why can't he just do that?
I guess I can play the devil's advocate and say, well, he was able to shapeshift into the size of an 8-year-old child, and that's not sufficient to get out of prison. You know what I'm saying? But if you shapeshift as a fly, like somebody said in the comment, and I guess, yeah, he's supposed to, but it's weird. I wonder if the brother Tehuti is still in Nuwabian to
Shaka.
this day.
I mean, it's obvious he can only shapeshift into stuff that, is very weird. It's like people accuse you of pedophilia and you can shapeshift into a child. Okay, what a coincidence. You can shapeshift into a child, It's like, it's never something that really helps the man. get free. It's never something that really empowers the people. It's always stuff that makes him a victim. You know, he's the victim. That's the point of it all. Whatever story they're talking about, they will all go back and say Malachi York is the victim, free Malachi York. So it's obvious. It's just, you're dealing with people that a man, took advantage of a lot of people, took advantage of a lot of people that are suffering from many different things, man. And really, expose them to gaslighting. A lot of these people, when you're forced to be a victim, turn over your kids, give up your home, give up your money, give up your freedom voluntarily, and listen to a person that spend all your money, screw all your kids, fuck your wife, and even maybe get your wife to screw another man too, and then your kids to screw another man and then screw him. When you give up all of these things, Shaka, you must have an excuse for it, right? You must have a rational excuse for it, right? Well, the rational excuse is he's God. He had a good reason for it. He's a sheikh. He's not human. Don't you believe us? Don't you believe us? It's got to be true, right? It's got to be true, right? Because why else would you give up your kid? Why else would you give up your wife? Why else would you volunteer all this? It's Stockholm syndrome, man. And the other people that were not under him and just believe this, they're lunatics. If you read his books, I don't know if you ever read a Malachi York book. I have. I read the one with that had the 13 dragon heads on the front of it and all of this shit, right? And the Holy Tabernacle Ministries, right?
I read the beginning of Sodom Misinterpreted when I went on the belated
Right.
squad. You know what I'm saying? But
now,
when I went
now
out the belated squad.
Right. Now, if you're
Hold on,
rooted,
I'm sorry. Let me say this. Enter the crisis. I see you, but the requirement is for people to show their face. Bennett has shown his face. I know him very well. He's a very regular caller. So if you don't mind, if you can use the webcam, yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
yeah. Now, if you're raised to be rooted in logic, sound logic, like question everything, reason through things. Everything has a rational reason for existing and for happening. If you're taught to think for yourself, it's very difficult to convince a person of some of the loony things that exist in Malachi Z. York's books. But he does something that's very powerful anyway. He taps into some things that are very real too, like your oppression as a black person. See, that's the first thing he taps into. And how are you oppressed? Well, they always tell you that Jesus is white, right? Yeah, Jesus. They lie about that all the time. They lie about and make up things that are part of the white supremacist structure. So he uses some of those things. But what he does is he uses that to get you interested. Like the 13-headed dragon. It's like, oh, okay, these are the colonies, and yeah, they did that to us. They colonized us. You can envision it. They have the coat of arms and all of this shit. So he sucks you in, but after he sucks you in with the real things, then he flips it around on you and asks you to give up your booty, your money, your child, all of these things for the revolution. That's really what's going on here. And if you're not rooted in think for yourself, you will fall for the occult. You will fall for it. And there's a lot of people, sadly enough, because maybe their own parents have abused them mentally, gaslighted them. Maybe they grew up in abusive families, so they don't feel gaslighting when it's hitting them. They don't see it as strange. They don't typically reject abuse because abuse in some way is normal to them and they can't see it always coming. So as long as Malachi York talks nice, he can talk you out of anything, these people. As long as he just talks nice. Some people
he talked them out of rape.
He talk about everything, what? Everything. Every single thing. And it's
Go ahead.
No, that's it. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
If you know Tehuti, just ask him for the record, you know what I'm saying? And he may not be available now, You know, I don't live stream too much. You know, like in the last 2 days, I haven't live streamed too much. You know what I'm saying? But when I live stream, usually people can get on the panel. Usually I share the link. Um, so he's welcome, but feel free to ask him. Does he still believe in that? And is he still a Nubian to this day? I'm just wondering. And if he's not a
Anybody,
Nubian, yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
anybody that anyone that fell for any type of alien nonsense has fallen for some type of government, foreign or not, disinformation or white supremacist disinformation. Either way, one of those things, oppressive disinformation. If these people aren't smart enough to figure it out, guess what? Life on earth is not fair. Life on earth is not fair. There's classism. You know, there's people that are smart enough to know dumb shit when they hear it and focus on math and science, you know, and then there's people that don't. It's just that simple. And the people that don't usually want to find an easy way out of shit. No, there's no easy way out of shit. It takes discipline. It takes focus, you know, and it takes science, you know, understanding of all types of science, political science, social science. First of all, if you want to understand people and how people group together, right? That generally the public, and then also how governments, you know, play politics, social politics on people too. They use that. I mean, not governments like in a bad way. I mean, if you want to run for a political office, you got to know some social political science. You have to understand how people group up in themselves. You got to say, hey, I got to go down to the Christian part of the country and preach and, you know, run my election there. And I got to go to the blue states where people are more concerned with industry and, you know, healthcare and things like that. And I got to convince them to vote for me too. These people, man, I guarantee you, most of these people are being fooled out of one thing, damn sure, voting. That's one thing all these goddamn cults have in common. They do not want people to vote. They tell people fuck voting, you know, and so that is suspect right there. That shows you white supremacy is behind it. Anybody telling these people to not vote, man, what else could be behind it? What else could be behind it? Well, what are you talking about? You got out of slavery and you don't want to vote. What the hell is that? Black, you know, it's just so sad, man. It's so sad. And
it is sad. It is sad.
It's so sad. Not that you have to stay in America. You could get the fuck out. You know, if you don't like voting, you don't have to stay there and not vote. You can actually get the fuck out and vote somewhere else. You can leave. You can actually get your ass a passport and leave. You can say fuck America. But no, these people don't do that. They stay and say, I'm not going to vote. And by the way, the guy that I gave all my money to, gave my house to, gave my wife to, and he fucked my kids, guess what? He's an innocent man. That's what these people are doing. It's complete, utter backwardness, man. And I don't know what this guy is getting out of it. But I know one thing for sure. You're going to end up in an insane asylum reading Dr. York's books.
Well, I don't think he will go that. I don't think he will go that far, you know. But
look at him.
Community.
You can look at people's faces, man.
He was in Scam Cheddar. He was in Scam Cheddar yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, he's been there before. He had a debate with Jabari. Actually, he people say he was like the winner because Jabari had the help of Butler Reggie and his wife as well, or the intervention, let's say, but people interpret that as help. So man, I'm surprised, man. So you know, but let me just greet the sister Storm. Storm, I don't know if you heard, but in case you haven't heard, Storm, just check this out. You gotta hear it to believe it. Where is it? There it is.
Tehuti, can you repeat that again, brother, please? Before we go to concert.
I heard what Tehuti said.
I've seen Malachi in 3 different sizes. He went from a 5'7", and he went to the size of about an 8-year-old child, and he was playing with the children. And I've seen him as taller than me. I've seen that in my eyes.
So wait a minute, man. Hold up. So what God did he invoke to help him do that?
I'm 6'5" now. I used to be 6'2". I'm 6'5" now.
So you see him change sizes from height ranges from like what, 4 foot, 4.5 feet to 6.5.
Yeah, not just change size, but the whole body structure of like a child, like an 8-year-old child, and he was playing with the children as their size. He was their size, and he was playing with them as their size. I saw that.
Crumb.
Yeah.
And Storm
Only
added,
problem, only problem with his statement is that no one who matters is going to believe it. No, so I mean, that's the problem. What did he think he can use that information for? I saw it with my eyes. I saw it with my eyes. And so, okay, yeah, what you gonna walk into a bank and say that? What are you gonna do? Go downtown to to your local police station and tell them you saw that? They're gonna get him out of jail because you said you saw it? No, it's not happening. Um, is he going to shapeshift and leave jail himself? No, he's not. How do we know? Because we know that's a lie. Anybody knows that's a lie. You see, and that's why
I
he's
surely
not
don't
going to
believe
do
that, man. But wait and see, brother. Wait for the comments, man, because those people, man. We can see some of the comments over there in that video there. I mean, we already see several people who believe that stuff. Now,
I mean, this is retarded because why do you? I mean, this was so oppressive about it. They put so much power into that psycho by sitting there saying, I've seen him shape shift with my eyes. Man, why don't you want to fucking shape shift? Like, if that's the case, why can't you? What's wrong with you, dude? What's so pathetic about your life that Malachi York can shapeshift and you can't? You believe in shapeshifting, but you can't shapeshift. I mean, what the fuck?
well,
It's bizarre.
actually, that dude who said he saw that from his own eyes, he was on Scam Chatter's panel yesterday. The young Pharaoh dude was on there as well. And the young Pharaoh dude is on tape, and I've played saying he astral projects all the time. Now, I see you're back into the crisis. Feel free to use your webcam whenever you can. I saw that earlier. You sent me a private message saying that, you are at work. But there's no need to apologize, you know what I'm saying? But even if you're at work, I think you can, move to the side, you go to the bathroom and, use a webcam, use a smartphone. But whenever you're ready with your webcam, then feel free. But according to what Storm is saying, he's no longer in the cult. You see, many times when people are in cults, they can't see the foolishness. However, it's strange that he's no longer in a cult and still believes to the point where he's clearly delusional. And she just wrote right now, he's probably using this information or story to capture the old believers and start his own cult. Who knows? Who knows? But let me just see some other of the comments because I'm really interested.
She's right. She's right. It's more likely he's doing that because what we do know exists is opportunists on this earth.
I ain't gonna accuse him of that. I ain't gonna accuse him of that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm wondering today.
I've seen a lot of them.
Does he still believe
it? I've seen a lot of them opportunities with my own eyes on Signetta's platform now. Yeah. That I can tell you. And you can take that to the bank.
Now, here, Robert Leake Jr. seems to believe that stuff. He wrote, JJ 7000, there's no God for that. If you study shamanism, for those who don't know, there's two voices. One guy sounded like a dude that I address, who is apparently alternative, and the other one was JJ 7000. Now I see that Enter the Crisis left, so probably he cannot use this. Oh, he sent me another message. I use the peak of me. This is Malik. I mean, please, I just don't want anybody to feel to feel like I'm being condescending. It's the same for everybody. Right now, V Bennett doesn't have his webcam, but he's used it many times. So I know him very well. It's really a requirement, that's so. I hope you don't take it the wrong way, you know what I'm saying? But any other time, when you can use it, but the picture, it's like it won't do. I need to see the people's face. It's very important to me. But anyway, here and yeah, and the other voice where he asked, which God did he pray to? Whatever. That was the voice of the JJ dude, the dude who's, Anyway, so the person addressed JJ 7000 by saying there is no God for that. If you study shamanism, you shape shift, son, but you are not well read. You don't even believe in God anymore, so why would you ask that? You told scam, cheddar, probably, sa. You are Kemetic now. Make your mind up. So, is this true? JJ 7000 used to be Kemetic for a minute? Now, Robert Leake Jr. obviously believes that this is true. Leo da Vinci wrote, I know him, he goes as Tehuti or Hotep. Amun-Ra, I believe as Fu, but Tehuti for short. And yes, as of my knowledge, he was a former student of York and also features on the Killer Priest podcast from the Wu-Tang Clan, who was also he's also mentioned many stories regarding to his experience within. There's another brother also named Rasul, who was also a former student who heard but never seen. But just throwing that out, fam. But I do necessarily believe him. Okay, I don't know if he meant I do not necessarily, but he says, but I do necessarily believe him. I think he probably meant to say I do not, because people don't usually say I do necessarily believe you or I do necessarily believe him. Here, Great Hawkage wrote he was giving them some good stuff. And here I agree. Y'all so gullible, man. I agree. Now here, the person wrote Dr. Pork. Hold on, I thought there were more comments than that. Let's go to the beginning. There were more comments than that. Okay, well, that's about it. That's about it for the comments. Well, it says 112 comments, so hold on. Maybe if I go there, newest first. I don't feel like I went through 100 comments. Who knows? Yo, I believe, dude. Oh, no, I read that one. Okay, here there's some more comments. Over the years, I've heard a lot of claims by Nuwapians that Dr. Malachi Z. York had special powers like being able to levitate, walk through walls. See, if you can walk through walls, then it's going to be easy to get out of jail. Summon UFOs, turn himself inside out to become a light ship, heal people with a green light, ability to become tall, etc., but nothing 100% confirmed. Just stories by people claiming to be eyewitnesses. I think these stories are concocted to make his presence seem bigger than life so they can sell more books or scrolls, in my opinion. The way this guy claims he saw a mind change the atomic structure of his body so nonchalantly doesn't sound very believable, and the shifty eyes. If Dr. York actually had the power to shape shift, that would mean he's keeping himself in a maximum security prison intentionally. Dr. York was definitely a master marketer. And that's the same thing that comes over and over again. And I forgot, but some people, before 2012, they were talking about the alignments of the planet, all those metaphysical dudes, and there's gonna be a lot of change on Earth and blah blah blah. And some people are talking about transforming themselves into some beam light, man. I mean, the stuff that we heard over the years, man. But hey, let's continue. Let's see what's up. So here, I don't know how true it is, but none of the shapes he shifts into can give me. No, I've read that one before. There's 9 replies here. Have y'all actually seen him in prison? This being is no joke. You finite mortals are weak, slow, and cowards. This is the truth. Weak, sorry, self-hating Negroes with no universal respect, because you weak, self-hating Negroes can't seem to love yourself. And this is a guy who has a username, Far Master Teacher, and this is the picture indeed of Far Muhammad. So some people will even call you all kind of names for not believing in that stuff, man. It's a shame, man. This is a conscious community, man. See, I'm dealing with Kemet, and I've been dealing with Kemet for years, man. And if you have questions about Kemet, feel free. And I don't like the idea of people dealing with Kemet and seeing like the Shrine of Ma'at, who's cool with child molestation, appearing on the panel that invites child molesters, convicted child molesters. You know what I'm saying? And that's not what it's about. You understand what I'm saying? You know, like you're gonna have Jabari is gonna say, well, Polite should be on timeout, but the people who are convicted for child molestation, they're on the panel and he has no problem with this kind of hypocrisy, you know what I'm saying? So just for the record, put it out there. You know, if people want to know about Kemet, if people want to know about Ma'at, you know what I'm saying? I understand that I and many others who are regular on this panel, we don't rock with convicted child molesters. We don't make excuses for them. But anyway, and also this kind of pseudo stuff, man. You know, I can speak for myself. I'm not down with that stuff. To me, that's not just pseudo. That's extra pseudo. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what happened to the brother. I don't know if he will still maintain that today. The question is asked, and we will see what happens later on. Now, so another person saying that, you know, how come he doesn't escape the maximum security prison? And he looks that's about it. He looks that's about it. You know what I'm saying? So damn, some people do believe in that stuff, and it's always like that. It's always like that with this conscious community, man. You can tell them about anything, and they will believe it. You know? Dang, I have a long way to go, man. A long way to go, man. And not only people believe that he was shape shifting, but you heard more than once people saying that the dude was able to levitate. Levitate, man. If we gather all those Nubians and ask them what they have seen or what they believe in, it's going to be bananas, man. It's going to be bananas. I mean, you know, we have Farrakhan talking about the vision he had when he was transported into some sort of sheep, mothership or whatever, and he heard the voice of Elijah Muhammad, man. You know, it's not exclusive to Nubians. You know what I'm saying? In the NOI, you know, it is said that Far Muhammad is God and that he can speak like 16 languages.
Yo, Shaka.
Yes, brother.
I mean, you know, don't you think it's kind of weird that somebody can just come in to your community with really no idea of who he is, where he comes from? You can't see his mother, father. You can't see any of his other family members. And all of a sudden, this becomes a leader of an organization in the Black community. I'm talking about Fard Muhammad. Like, don't you find that really strange? Like, because I would say, how do you know that person's not a member of some foreign government, a disinformation campaign? How do you know? Because that's exactly what, you know, governments do. They send out anonymous people, give them fake credentials, give them fake names and fake, you know, give them opportunity to go in, slip under the radar. And, you know, there's a lot of gullible people out there. I mean, it's happened. It's already happened. It's just happened in our lifetime with this election, the last election in the U.S. You know, these are literally foreign agents out there masking to be right wingers, supporting right wingers. You know, yeah, and they fit right in with them. Then they start funding them. Then all of a sudden you find out they're going to jail for espionage and all of this other shit. You know, people just need to be. Then you got double agents. You know, people just need to use the brain, think rationally, ask sound questions, and make sound decisions about who they trust. And it's very obvious NOI people trusted somebody they know not anything about. They cannot confirm anything about this person. It's not like they trusted someone that grew up in their neighborhood. It's not like Fard Muhammad grew up in their neighborhood. It's not like their mama knew Fard Muhammad's mama. It's nothing like that. It's just pure stranger shows up and is now a leader. You know what I mean? And we have to get past that point. And when it comes to like people, I mean, when you get it wrong once, okay, shame on you. You know, but you know, to get it wrong twice, you know, then you really got to start asking questions. But when you get it wrong multiple times, then no wonder you got somebody like a Dr. York out there, because he's learning from all these other people that, could do it. So why can't I? Why can't I? You see? But it's something really strange about just trusting how stupid we are. You wouldn't teach your kid to trust a stranger. You wouldn't teach your kid to give your money to somebody that says I can shapeshift. You would you wouldn't teach your kid to talk to a stranger, would you? But all these people, they would have to say yes, I would, because that's exactly what they did. They trusted strangers. They trusted people way past a level that is healthy for any human being or any animal. Any animal. You wouldn't teach a dog to trust somebody like that. You wouldn't. They would call it animal abuse. So
Oh my goodness, man. Most of what they knew from far came from Elijah Muhammad, So I don't think he was like a US government plan or plot. It's probably, a
it's
foreign,
probably
yeah. Because
exactly that's what I'm saying.
they were kind of looking for a savior, Marcus Garvey movement went down.
Yeah.
Also Drew Ali went down. And
Just like the right wing. Just like the
yeah.
right wing was looking for some wind under their sails, a little bit of help. Well, they got that help. They got that help.
And there was the Ahmadiyya. The Ahmadiyya movement also had kind of teaching, like, talking about a Mahdi, so some sort of savior / Messiah. And there were also those Japanese people who obviously were very anti-American. And if people actually Carl Evans' book, which I think is the best book about the Nation of Islam, The Messenger, The Rise and Fall of Elijah Muhammad, he will mention those guys, and I think, even shows a picture of one of these Japanese guy. So they had some funding, some collaboration with some Japanese at some point. There's even a tape of Farrakhan. He's been interviewed on the TV. I forgot if it was BET, but he said that this uniform we have, it comes from my Japanese brothers. You know what I'm saying? So I probably have the video somewhere in my archive. So yeah, outside forces.
Yeah, it's some Marxist. It's Marxist. It has
And
some Marxist undertones.
it's the same. For example, see, there's a guy, they put up the name of a French Pan-African. He received money from Iran. He was on TV. He was angry, but he did not deny it. And people say he's receiving money from Russia. And there's a movement of people who are anti-Zionist. One of those guys who presented himself as a candidate for an anti-Zionist political party, he said out of his own mouth that for the political campaign, they received 3 million euros. Now, the euro today is about the same as the dollar, maybe slightly stronger. So it means that they received at least $3 million just for a political party that's anti-Zionist. And a lot of people don't know that so many of those movements, yourself, you made a video about the Uhuru movement in Russia. And there's some video, if people look it up, they put Uhuru Russia, they will see some news article talking about this. Of course they are denying it, but who knows what's going down. But we also, and it's funny, $3 million,
Yeah.
the equivalent.
Dr. York denies molesting kids too.
There it goes. Whatever's inconvenient, of course they will deny it. $3 million, that's the amount that the Nation of Islam received from Libya in the 70s. The lift from our Libyan brothers. In the newspaper, Muhammad Speaks back then, Elijah Muhammad talked about it himself. Even though the word used was loan, I never heard of them paying it back. We have Khalid Abdul Muhammad on tape saying that he got $5 million for Farrakhan, for the Nation of Islam. So this is the instances that we know about. How many instances we don't know about, So if you are, against some particular movement, you can get some funding from foreign countries. And the funny thing is that in France, it is illegal to receive funding from overseas. That's one of the reasons why the former president Sarkozy is having legal trouble. It's been pushed back. I don't know when it's going to finally be judged about it, because some of Gaddafi's sons said that they founded the political campaign of Sarkozy. So that guy, who's a neo-Nazi that many black people, Pan-Africans, used to roll with, and that dude, the name that was mentioned, he used to kiss his behind. He used to kiss his butt. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, he said that on tape that they got 3 million euros for the campaign, just for the campaign. How come he never had no legal trouble? So then you can see where the government have an interest in having someone like that, because that guy, that neo-Nazi type of guy, he was making a lot of comments against the Zionists, against Jewish people. And when they do that, then the media, every time there's something coming up, they will talk about it. That guy has been going to court so many times, receiving so many heavy fines, never jail time for a strange reason, but so many court cases, so many financial punishments. And who's paying it? His groupies, his fans. Yeah, support, boom. I was condemned to pay like 10,000 euros. I was condemned to pay 5,000 euros. And every time it's the damn fans who paid. Just like Alex Jones. Alex Jones was leaving it up, but he went too far. And now he ain't got no paper, and he ain't going to get away with it so easily. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, when people are into some strange stuff, strange claims and all that, they might have a good run. But ultimately, the truth, the reality will catch up with them. You know what I'm saying? And in a couple of months, hey, there's going to be a lot of singing. But anyway, brother, feel free to make your closing remarks, man. I'm still in shock.
My closing remarks are: a mind is a terrible thing to waste. It's like disinformation is just as bad as drugs. It may be even worse than drugs, maybe even worse than illegal drugs, man. I mean, it really fries people's brains, and it has so many negative effects. You could go out and kill somebody believing some crazy shit, and you don't even know who started the crazy shit you're a part of. It's always important to know what something is about, and to be able to verify it 100% before you give yourself any of your money, any of your time to it. It's so important to do that. And if you do decide, because maybe you can't verify everything, have some limitations, set some boundaries. Don't go all in. Go in moderately. Don't lose more than you can afford to lose, and don't give more than you can afford to give. And that also means your spiritual energy, your belief, your actual allegiance, your loyalty. Nothing is more powerful than a person's loyalty and allegiance. Money is less, but as you see, these cults have something in common. They keep on taking. They'll take all your allegiance, and they'll take all your money, and they won't give you a goddamn thing back. And you just have to be smarter than that. But unfortunately, man, I think it's not up to, in terms of racial discrimination, it's not up to other people to completely solve Black Americans' problems. And I'm saying this now, sure, as far as making things, as far as paying reparations and making sure that the law addresses inequality and injustice, absolutely, everyone can play a part in that. But as far as fixing your own goddamn mind, no one can walk you through that door. You have to walk that door yourself. You have to take responsibility for yourself. And part of that means stop giving your allegiance to stupid shit. Stop just giving it out so easily. You're more powerful just yourself as one individual, keeping your allegiance to your kids, to your own immediate set. And you don't have to go out there and rob and fool other people. And you don't have to go out there and claim everything. You don't have to claim a damn thing about your religion, what religion is best and who is true. You don't even have to know all of that shit to do any good on this planet, including for yourself. You know, this disinformation stops people from building healthy families, and healthy communities. And they just better get on board with it, because life is not fair for anybody. Why will it be fair to you? So we have to start understanding that's how life is. So stop trusting every goddamn thing. Stop going back and knocking your head over the same goddamn thing that failed you time and time again. Cults will not save Black Americans. It will only suck your money and take the last penny you have. That's it.
And that's what's up. A mind is a terrible thing. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. But some people are stubborn, and it's so sad that some people, even when they know they are wrong, they will just not admit that they are wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's just so sad, man. So they will rock with foolishness. They will rock with BS, with pseudo claims, pseudo teachings, just because they don't want to say they were wrong. My closing remarks is the same. Stay safe, stay healthy. If I'm allowed to by the nature, I will definitely holler back at you. I don't argue, I state facts. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Do I to do any Hotep. Thank you, brother Bennett.
Hotep.
Now, for the record, for those who don't know, I'm giving middle nature classes. And here, that's the flyer. Okay? So, those who are interested, feel free to holler at me. If you're not interested, it's cool. But I recommend that everybody who has not yet seen the video, Kemet and Ma'at, Before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, then watch it. It has about 300,000 views and really deserves to have a lot more.
I just want to let everyone know who's listening in now and who's going to listen to this stream in the future. I just had my first Meta Nature class by Brother Shaka today, and I've had other Meta Nature lessons by other teachers, and I can tell you right now, the brother is the best in the game. He is that was one of the best classes I've ever had, ever. So if you're interested in learning the Meta Nature, if you're interested in getting the basics of it, Brother Shaka is an awesome teacher. Get with him, and it's extremely affordable. This brother is giving us his time and his skills, and he's basically giving it away. I mean, I just consider it a donation. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody's interested in learning the Meta Nature, get with this brother right here. He's an awesome, awesome, awesome teacher. And I'll end with that.
Hotep Senu, Hena Senut. This is Julie, also known as Servant of Yah, and I'm currently taking the Medu Neture classes with Brother Shaka, and it has been an amazing experience. Only 2 lessons so far, and I feel like I've been taking the classes for months, just with the how in depth he goes into the vocabulary words, the construction of the language, the grammar. It's been immeasurable, the experience. And one thing that comes across, hands down, is his extreme passion for teaching this to anyone who is willing to learn and has an interest in learning. So I highly suggest, if you are interested, even a minimal interest, that you subscribe to the classes with Brother Shaka. It's such a nominal amount for how much you get. I know, like, our last class was over 2.5 hours. It felt like 2 minutes, but because that's how involved you are in what he's teaching and how he teaches and how compassionate he is about what he teaches. Also with sharing materials free of charge, no question, no doubt. It's just what he does. He doesn't have to, but he does. And so I just wanted to give a short testimonial about the class and the effectiveness of the class, and all of that is attested to how studied Brother Shaka is. So I highly recommend anyone with a minimal interest that you do sign up for the Medunetia class. Hotep.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, which is Ma'at Forever. Don't forget to watch the video entitled Kemet and Ma'at. Don't forget to share Kemet and Ma'at on my channel on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or other social media that you use. Email, text messages, you name it. Those who wish to donate can do so on paypal.me/ma'atforever.